think last week, Mnet published an article stating that Bang Si Hyuk and HYBE was actually raided. So after two denials for a search warrant, the third request was finally granted, and they actually raided HYBE. So they published that article, and then less than 2 hours, they actually deleted that article. Hence, you will not be able to find it anymore. Now, when I posted it in Patreon and on X, I actually posted the link. So luckily, I still have that link. That's why we can see that it was deleted. So in that article, they actually said that HYBE was raided by the police after prosecutors twice rejected warrants. The investigation targets Chairman Bang Si Hyuk, who allegedly received 400 billion Korean won through a secret profit-sharing deal. So this is the old case that was already dismissed, and HYBE was already proven innocent. They're trying to bring it back, so they are trying to keep on asking for a warrant of a search warrant. Okay, so that's the gist of the entire thing, that he's in trouble, that he's probably going to be sued or whatever. Okay, so that's the TLDR. Too long, didn't read. And then, of course, there were many, many accounts on Twitter, on X, on Facebook, on other social media who jumped on it. And one of which is the very, very devoted fan site of New Jeans, saying Chairman Bang Si Hyuk is risking life in prison for fraudulent activities after officials finally raided HYBE earlier today. Unlike Mnet, this group, this social media account has not deleted their story and their posts. Okay. So they posted again, still about the same story. The financial supervisory service has decided to refer Bang Si Hyuk for the prosecution after corrupting their investigation. So it's still the same thing. They're claiming that HYBE was raided. So this account has not taken down their tweet, and this publication has not deleted their article. So this is their article. Financial Supervisor Service begins sanctioning procedures for Bang Si Hyuk, chairman of HYBE, for fraudulent illegal activities. So all of that, fake news. No raid happened. There was another group that was raided, but it wasn't them. Okay. Now, the other thing that they keep on making it appear as if Bang Si Hyuk is disrespecting the court is in relation to the stock price manipulation. If you would remember, HYBE is actually suing Kakao for manipulating the stock price of SM Entertainment when they were competing against Kakao to get majority share of SM Entertainment. And so they were able to prove that Kakao indeed, okay, so they have enough proof to actually indict Kakao. Now, the defense is actually calling him as a witness, which is Bang Si Hyuk. They want Bang Si Hyuk to appear as a witness, and he keeps on saying no. So of course there are procedures to this. You can't just not appear. So you need to provide reason, blah blah blah, and that's what you pay your lawyers for. If you don't want to appear personally in court, that is a right that you have, and that is a right that you are bestowed, and you can use that right anytime. So if you are in any kind of a legal trouble, you don't want to appear in court, you just tell your lawyer, and your lawyer will say, yeah, okay, you don't have to attend. Or your lawyer say, you don't have a choice, you have to attend. Or they say, okay, you don't have to, but probably you should. In this case, he doesn't feel that, neither him nor his lawyer feel that he should attend the trial. And so he hasn't been attending the trial. So it's just their lawyers representing HYBE. Now, because many of these accounts, specifically fans of New Jeans, solo fans of toxic fans of New Jeans, they really don't know the law, so they make it appear as if that Bang Si Hyuk is doing something illegal. He's not doing anything illegal. When he doesn't appear in court, everything is taken care of, and the court knows that he is not going to appear, and he was allowed to not appear. All right. So no issue about him not appearing in court. Okay, next. So this is the article discussing about him not appearing in court. Chairman Bang repeatedly submitted a reason for not being present to the prosecutor's witness summons. So they're just yeah, they were sort of just saying like, oh, he keeps on giving these excuses and whatever. The court has to accept your reason for not attending, and then they keep on blaming him for this. They're saying that it was you who sued Kakao and now you don't want to appear in court. Well, again, that is my right. I can sue anybody and not appear in court. Okay. Now what happened was that it was actually the reverse. So if the what happened was that the prosecutor ended up investigating writers, journalists from South Korea, because apparently there is a pattern. They would buy stocks, write something good about that stock, so the stock will about that company, and so the stock will actually go up, and then they'll sell. So they will sell at a profit. So it didn't happen just once, twice, three times, five, 10 times. It has happened so many times in the last several years. So what they're happening is that they're actually manipulating the market, the stock price, so that they can profit. It can also be the other way around. They'll say something bad about a company, so the stock price is going to go down, they'll buy. And then once things improve, then they'll sell. In either case, they actually earn. So that is what the prosecutor is trying to prove. So they're investigating about 30 reporters who have been doing this for years, not just months, not just weeks, but they've been doing this for years. So I'm beginning to think that there is too many, not all, but many journalists in South Korea don't follow the code of ethics of journalism. Okay, so about 20 former and current reporters are under investigation by financial authorities. They are accused of first buying stocks, writing an article, and then selling them for profit using internal corporate information they learned after reporting. You cannot do that. Okay. Now, we do know that HYBE has been continuously suing people, and they've been suing people in South Korea and also in the US. The latest news that we got is in relation to 17. They actually apply for discovery in US court, meaning they are requesting the court to allow them to get information about certain people. So we know we know that they haven't stopped, that they continuously gather evidence, and then once they have enough, they will sue. So I am fully convinced that all of these journalists that are trying to manipulate public opinion, distributing misinformation about Bang Si Hyuk and BTS, they will have their day in court. My gut feel is that HYBE actually wants the major case to finish first. Once that is done, then they will go after these reporters and after this social media influencers or these accounts. I think they want Bang Shiyuk to be they want to prove that Kakao actually manipulated stock prices. Once they are able to prove that, they're gonna go after these reporters and social media accounts. I think that's what they're just trying to clear, and that shouldn't take long. When I say that shouldn't take long, maybe 2 years, not months, but at least it's not going to take like 10. I think after that, once they are done with this case against Kakao, they're going to go after all of these influencers. So the only thing that can help is for you to actually submit to them screen caps whenever you see any kind of malicious reports against BTS, especially, but also against other people. There is a specific account in on X that that is actually pro BTS, but this account shades everybody else. I don't think that's nice either. Just because you like BTS doesn't save you from the fact that you can still get sued. So people just simply has to be decent about what they are writing. So go ahead, if you have the time, just do a screen cap. And when you do a screen cap, you have to screen cap the entire screen, and that should include the date of because your screen usually has the date on either the lower part or the top part, right? Remember, depending on the brand of your computer. So when you actually screen cap, you have to include that. They want the entire screen, not just the portion that contains the malicious article or malicious statement. It has to be the entire screen. And then you just go to bighit.com or something like that. So, but that is the best way you can help. Um, okay, so that, and then someone actually told me something interesting about Bang Si Hyuk and BTS, because I was like talking with one of my friends who's a Korean native, and I was asking them about how come there's so many Koreans who hate BTS. And it was an interesting discussion because he explained to me their the Confucianism influence in their culture. So they feel that when a poor person like BTS, for example, or Bang Si Hyuk goes up the ladder, and especially if it does not involve education, like going to school, getting high grades, going up the corporate ladder, for them it is actually a betrayal, because it feels like we should all be in this together. We should be miserable together. So that is just part of the culture. Because you left us behind, then we hate you because you betrayed us. And then the other thing is, so it's Confucian values. That is the primary reason. Uh, like we should all be poor together is what they're kind of saying. Okay, and then the other thing is the collectivism versus individualism, because Korea is very like a social, they put a lot of importance on the society more than the individual needs. So if you are a poor person, they expect that once you are going up, you bring everybody else with them. You shouldn't be going up all by yourself. So when it's only you that succeeds, they feel that you're being selfish. So that is for them also a betrayal. And then, of course, there's just jealousy and competitive social dynamics, because South Koreans, apparently, they're very, very competitive. That is why they're very particular about their looks, because they like looking better than everybody else. They compete in every level. They compete in, which is kind of like an Asian thing. So they want their children to be better than the children of the neighbors. They want to look better. They want to be thinner. They want to be more fashionable. And they are very much particular about their outer look, because that is the physical look, because that is the most visible. So it's a competition for them. So if I don't become as successful as you are, then I lose. However, he did say something, and he said, because we were talking about this and he was trying to explain all the points to me, he did say that it is not true. Even in South Korea, he said, those who hate BTS and those who don't objectively think they should have gotten an exemption in the military and other privileges is a minority. And this is a local. And I mean, he lives in South Korea. He's saying that whatever you hear and whatever you see on TV about BTS doing this, BTS doing that, they should serve, they should blah, 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 and they're not good people, Bang Si Hyuk should be taken down or whatever. He's saying that's a minority. It's just that they are the louder minority, because those people that are they actually appreciate BTS. They acknowledge how much of a help BTS has been in elevating the image, the soft power of South Korea. They're mostly silent. So he was very, very clear on this aspect, that no, South Koreans, the majority of it, we do not hate BTS, we do not hate Bang Si Hyuk. Many of the people that are talking on Twitter, on Panchoa, different forums, they're either paid or they are the loud majority. But he said, don't ever think that South Korea hates BTS and hates Bang Si Hyuk. That is not true. So wait, is this an interview? I So he agreed to be interviewed. I will be interviewing him. He's scheduled 2 weeks before, sorry, 2 weeks from now, so most likely it will air August. Yeah, August. 2 weeks from now, and then it'll take about 2 weeks before it's published. So you will see this. But it's so enlightening because he was like very adamant. He said, no. Like if you go walk around South Korea and you ask them, you ask local South Koreans, should they have gotten a military exemption? All of them will say, like, not all of them, but a lot of them will say, especially in the country, like in the rural areas, he said, go around, ask them, should they have gotten a military exemption? Everyone will say, of course, they should have gotten a military exemption. So he said that majority of the people that are, especially in Facebook and on X, either they are not actually Koreans or they are just the loud minority. So he said, don't ever think that we're just jealous or we hate them. So they said we don't. We have nothing but appreciation for BTS and for Bang Si Hyuk. All of these things that you're hearing, it does not represent Koreans. So if you're starting to hate Koreans for this and for that, don't. They're just the loud minority. In all fairness to Koreans, give them a break and give them a chance. And I can attest to that because in the last time that I traveled in South Korea, and we actually went to Daegu, we went to Busan, and we stopped over several other provinces, and I was talking with some locals, and yeah, they're all very, very appreciative of BTS and very, very upset at the military for requiring them to serve, because they all feel that their life was getting better because of BTS. So what do people think now that that they've served in the military? All of my friends, my Korean community here and Korean community in South Korea, all of them are saying that if BTS served, everyone should serve. It's kind of odd, right? Because I know that a lot of people were trying to get them to not serve because we want their idols, their biases to actually not serve. So, but it worked the other way totally. Now they're saying that if BTS actually served, then everyone should serve. Because if you can't exempt like somebody like BTS, then nobody can be exempted. Because, and for them, even to my friends, they were and these are not BTS fans, by the way. They're not BTS fans. A lot of them are saying, like, even if you are an Olympic gold medalist, there is absolutely no way in hell you can contribute 3% to the GDP of South Korea. Just that's not gonna happen. Only BTS has been able to do that. And if there's anybody who deserved that exemption, it would be them. If they didn't get it, no one should get it. Isn't that odd? It's such a different perspective because everyone, like day in and day out, we hear about South Koreans saying this, that they shouldn't get exemption, that they should be sued, that it is unfair. And then you have an actual local talking about how Koreans feel about BTS. And they're all saying we love them. So even this like drive and this petition to not allow Suga to appear in any kind of Korean show, I asked him about it and I was like, are they insane? Who are these people that are doing this petition? Do they even have a brain? So yeah, but glad that he agreed to be interviewed. He's a sociologist.